It's Monday, October 18th. My name's Juan Brown. You're watching the Blanco Lirio channel, and breaking news. Look, there's rain in the rain gauge. This is big news for those of us here in Northern California, and the 7-day forecast looks very exciting. As I talked to my friend Gary on the phone this morning, to us that live in the wildland urban interface, this means that we get to keep our house for another year. Let's go inside and take a look at the huge water deficit that we need to recover from over on Oroville Reservoir, which is indicative for the rest of Northern California. We had two storms prior to this dropping just a trace amount of rain, perhaps a quarter of an inch of rain, and this storm has brought over a half an inch of rain, almost 3/4 of an inch of rain, and the 7-day forecast is looking for a series of storms to come through Northern California, with Sunday looking like the most promising storm, hopefully putting an end to the fire season this year. Again, it takes a couple of inches of rain in order to put an end to fire season. This, just a half an inch of rain, is not quite enough to really soak into the ground and wet everything good enough. The concern is going into November is that high pressure move back in, north winds begin to blow, and we have another paradise type fire event in the month of November. Hopefully this year that will not be the case. So far this year in California, we've burned about 2 million acres in wildfires, and most of that up north on the Plumas National Forest. That fire consuming 1 million acres when you combine the Beckworth complex with the Dixie fire. Last year in California, we burned nearly 4 million acres. Here's the current satellite loop showing about a 6-hour loop as this low pressure moves through the area, indicating snow showers at about the 5,000 foot elevation. Rain began about midnight last night and continued pretty steady throughout the whole evening. Now this is a really cool chart from windy.com. The upper level winds, over here on the right, you can raise and lower the winds from the surface, and we're going to take it up to 30,000 feet, kind of right in the middle of the jet stream, or the upper part of the jet stream, 300 millibar, 300 hectopascals. And we're using the European model over here in the lower right, and just hit the play button from today. So here's Northern California right here. Here's Alaska and the Aleutian Islands, and we see the jet stream in a trough heading toward us Tuesday, Wednesday time frame. And that jet stream just keeps pointing right towards the Northern California Oregon border. Here comes again on Thursday, another trough just off of the coast. Friday, that trough passes through. Now we're moving on down here to Saturday, and the jet stream's now even lowered a little bit, targeting more of Northern California, just below the Oregon border. This should be a good soaking rain come Sunday as this trough moves onshore. The jet stream, of course, what moves our weather. But then after Monday, Tuesday or so, this ridge starts moving back overhead, which will mean drier weather for the following week. But again, after 7 days out, it gets pretty sketchy after 7 days of forecasting. Here's the aviation weather surface prog chart later on today, Monday, showing the low pressure area moving through Nevada, Idaho, and Utah. Now we're at Tuesday. Wednesday, the next weather front begins to hit Northern California with a good soaking rain, it looks like, throughout much of the region. Thursday, Friday, more rain. Saturday and Sunday, rain and snow, hopefully some fairly significant amounts. Here's the 10-day forecast from the Weather Channel showing rain again on Wednesday. This is for Sacramento area. Wednesday, Friday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and then becoming drier the following week. So very exciting news. Over on Facebook, friend Kevin Quinn, who puts on the High Sierra Fly-In each year, up at his house in Truckee, 7,000 feet, got over 7 inches of snow last night on his back porch. Happy birthday, Kevin. Here's the SkyVector VFR charts, flying charts, showing the segment for severe moderate turbulence over the entire area. And finally, we're beginning to get rid of some of these TFRs, these red boxes, the temporary flight restriction areas over some of these wildfires. And I wanted to go up there and show you some more fire damage. I've got a little bit to show you here, but now it's all going to be covered in snow. Over on INCIWeb here, where we've burned over 2 million acres this year in California, the largest being this complex of the Dixie Fire plus the Beckworth Fire. And I've got an aerial to show you here. 1 million acres, more or less, by the time you put these two fires together, because the Dixie Fire ended up burning into the Beckworth complex, which burned earlier this year. So that's a good 60 or 70 mile stretch from the north to the south end of the fire. Again, this fire very frustratingly started again with a PG&E power line problem very near where the Paradise Fire started in the North Fork of the Feather River, exacerbated apparently by a drone being in the area, hampering initial attack efforts on day one of this fire, allowing it to get out of this canyon and burning all summer long and burning all the way over the Sierra Nevada mountains. Same with the Caldor Fire, this fire burning all the way over the summit, Echo Summit, of the Sierra Nevada mountain range. Now let's take a look at some shots I got from the Husky running back and forth to the Dead Cow Playa located right up here. These shots were taken just south of Frenchman Lake, located right here, which is the south end of the Beckworth complex, which is the south end of the entire Beckworth-Dixie complex, where that distance across from those two fire complexes is 90 miles, as far as the eye can see. Here's a still shot around Frenchman Lake. You can see the mosaic pattern of the burn area, leaving some green trees and completely destroying many others. And this distance stretching 90 miles as far as the eye can see back over here over the left wingtip of the Husky. This is heading towards the east, and the Nevada desert begins just right over the other side of this escarpment right here. And 395 is just on the other side of this escarpment as well. Now let's take a look at some recent pictures of Oroville Reservoir. This was a shot a couple weeks ago out of the Cessna 310, a record low 629 feet currently. And we'll take a look at how we got to recover from this deficit here on the charts here in a moment. But some of these branches of some of these canyons are just simply turning back into the original river. Our local reservoirs, of course, way down as well. For example, here's Bullard's Bar Reservoir, located very close to the Oroville Reservoir. Now let's take a look at the data for Oroville Reservoir. October 1st is usually the beginning of our annual rain year, as we have no rain basically throughout the summer months here in California or Northern California. Very little or no rain. With the rain starting in October, and we've got a good start. Looks like we're getting a good start to this October. But this chart still goes from the first of the year to the end of the year. So here we are today, or yesterday, October 18th, with a record low 628-foot elevation at the Oroville Reservoir, shown in blue down here at the bottom. Remember, the top of Oroville Reservoir is 900 feet. That emergency spillway begins to spill over at 901 feet. Here's the water level up here in the upper left as well. So definitely the lowest it's been, I think, ever, and certainly the last, what is this, 6 years? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So let's go back and see how this works, how this water deficit recovery works. Here we are, 2021 in blue this year, and here we go all the way back to 2016 to get kind of a feel for how this reservoir recharges itself. Back here in October of 2016, we're down here at 736 feet, and then pretty quick in November, things start to fill up and continue to fill up, and they keep it at flood control stage and then allow the reservoir to fill all the way up in the April-May time period. Didn't quite make it to the top, 891 feet, and then they start using that water throughout the water year, and it's brought back down to about 726 feet in 2016. Now let's go to 2017, and we're starting at 697 feet. Well, we're starting down here with the water year at 690 feet. The first of the year, 782 feet. This is the year that the spillway failed, and you can see right here we got those powerful storms coming in, and it just quickly raised the reservoir level. The spillway failed. They were unable to release the water, and the emergency spillway overflowed at 901 feet, and then they begin the hectic recovery of getting the water out of the reservoir through the busted spillway after the emergency spillway basically didn't fail, but the erosion was eroding too much up to the emergency spillway to where they decided let's not use the emergency spillway anymore because it too may fail, the actual spillway itself. So anyways, they got this emergency recovered and brought the water level down to, remember, they had to rebuild the spillways over the next season or so. 2018, they only allowed the water to come on up to about 822 feet. Besides, there wasn't a whole lot of rain that year. 2019, after the repairs were made, they started with a deficit, well, down here about 775 feet, and brought it all the way up to just shy of 900 feet. So we were basically a full reservoir as far back as 2019, and then we began borrowing from that amount of water in 2020. 776 starts about 780 here for 2020. We get virtually very little rain, and we're only able to bring it on up to 824 feet. So now we're borrowing 2019's rain here in 2020, bringing it down to 698 feet or so, starting this year at only, just under 700 feet. Again, a very little rainfall year, very little precipitation for 2021, only able to fill it up to 729 feet. Again, borrowing the rainfall from 2019 and taking it all the way down to where it is today. So that's the huge deficit that we got to recover here in the Oroville Reservoir. Can we do that in 1 year? Well, you've seen, or you can take in years past, as far back as 2019, you can take it from 668 feet to darn near full in one season if you've got a good season of rain. Will we be able to do that this year? I don't know. I suspect it's going to take several good rain seasons, average or better rain seasons, to recover from this deficit at Oroville. So here's to hoping we get enough rainfall this year to recharge our water from our water deficit here in Northern California, including some of our high mountain lakes like up here at Bowman Lake in Nevada County. Thanks so much for your support of this channel, especially over on Patreon, that make this content possible. See you.